Hello everyone, this is my third Starcraft 2 video. We're gonna watch this decent PvT between me, Grandmaster Protoss, AiHEADHUNTER and Grandmaster Terran nukestrike. So let's start it on. As usually, we're gonna watch this through my first person view. So we're gonna see exactly what I saw, work with the information I was getting when I was playing. So the map is Shakura's Plateau. It's, I would say, quite good map for Terran because he can easily expand and he can drop during the whole game quite well because there's a lots of, you know, the no man's land, or how else would you call it? You can just flow the drops around the bases. But on the other hand, it's also a good map for Blink. It's one of the two or three maps, let's say three, where Protoss can play one base Blink Observer, or he can play Blink after an expansion and time it just right to snipe a tech lab searching Steam, which should be done in the 9th minute mark. So there are a few builds that contains, you know, fast expansion and making few blink stalkers in like 840, 845. So I'm gonna use this information because my opponent already knows that we're playing each other quite often, I would say, in the Czech tournaments. So I'm not gonna play like one gate expansion as fast as possible. I'm gonna make two guesses and I'm gonna make a stalker first to chase out his scouting SCV and not showing him what my transition is, if it's one base something or if it's expansion. Obviously he's gonna scan later, but you know, at least I force the scan. So here we go. I made the gateway, sent a scout after my gateway, and I'm rallying my probes into gas after I have like two probes on each mineral, but I think except one mineral because this is the one probe that is scouting. So I have 15 probes on my minerals and then I'm adding probes to my gas. And I lost my scouting probe. He blocked his ramp with the two depots. So normally I wouldn't know if it's gas opening or something, but I made a guess because he always plays Marine Expand, especially on this map where he likes to macro. So I took a guess, and I think I'm gonna verify the expansion, or at least I would verify if Terran is expanding every time I would play someone that I don't know or don't know that good. And it's quite easy to verify the expansion. You just send Zealot or Stalker with probe. You tank damage from the bunker with the fighting unit, and you mineral walk the probe behind the bunker, and you lose the probe, but you get the information. This is something you should always do against Terran if you didn't see he is putting his expansion down. It should be a routine for you, and you always want to check behind the bunker if it's fake bunker or if it's a really expansion. So as you can see, I killed the scouting SCV, and I immediately uh, I immediately went to the Xelnagas boat. So nothing, no Terran unit can go across the map because there's no way to go around the Xelnagas. So I'm gonna, watch the minimap, and I'm not gonna let any unit to pass me by. Obviously, he's gonna scan, I think, in 6 minutes. This is a good time for scan. So there's another mind game. Maybe you were wondering why Twilight cancels so soon, but this is also because I'm expecting him to scan. I want him to see my early Twilight, and I want him to think that this is a blink. Obviously, if you have done this on a ladder, you wouldn't know if your opponent is gonna scan, because not many Terrans can scans nowadays, but he did it. And Also, with one gate into something, you would be having a really hard time against 4 racks after in expansion. But this is a game of mind games. And as you can see, I didn't check his expansion, I just know my opponent, but let's imagine I did. Uh, let's say you always want to check if terran is expanding, and uh, let's say you'll be safe by doing it. So he scanned my early twilight, which is doing nothing. He scanned my robo, so he is like 99% sure I'm gonna go blink, snipe his Steam research. But in fact I'm not doing it. I'm boosting my probes and I'm making my robotics bay and one forge. So I'm gonna make blink eventually. I'm gonna make some colossi and only one forge. I usually do 2 forges, but I wanna make some colossus push, not colossus all in, but some decent push, and not rush my upgrades with colossi, which means, you know, double upgrades plus colossi equals less amount of army and later turret nexus, especially on this map, where your turret is either in the front, which is vulnerable to front attacks, or in the natural expansion of the other player, which is vulnerable to drops. So finally, I got my observer into his base. I'm making always, I think, 3 observers. One is to scout his base, one to lay, you know, to cool off in front of my natural, and one to spot drops to my main. Always 3 observers in PvT. That's how I do it, and that's how I recommend everyone be doing it. As you can see, it's patrolling a little bit on the minimap. I see he already has a starport. He started to make first medivacs. So I'm abandoning the Xelna gas. I'm sending the probe to his third. Maybe put down the proxy pylon for later. And I'm gonna need to save my stalker, also back it off. So I see the 2 medivacs. He'll be moving out. Yes, he is doing it. Mass Marines, 2 Marauders. It's not so early because he maybe delayed something due to the scan where he expected me to go blink Stalkers, so he maybe you know, delayed starport to make the 2 Marauders or something. So I'm feeling pretty confident that I can defend and get or receive basically no damage. He shouldn't be able to do any damage. I have my first colossi, I have force fields to force field my ramp, he's scanning, he's seeing. I let a few marines in. Oh, and he sniped my sentry at least. It was quite a good snipe for him. But I have colossus, I have stalkers on the high ground to kill the medivac if he was trying to drop me. And he has to back off. So right now I'm seeing him backing off, and I'm gonna exploit this move to make my move and go to attack. Because what's the worst thing that can happen if you do Colossus timing? You can get dropped. Terran don't need to counter your fast Colossi with fast medivacs, with fast Vikings, sorry, but he only needs to drop you while you're moving out of the base. That's the worst situation for you. So I saw he's moving back to his base. I knew he's not gonna drop me in a few seconds, so I immediately go to his base. And this is a great move for me, because now he cannot drop me. Well, he shouldn't have, because he would have to move across the whole map and lose a lot of time. Meantime, I could push him and maybe even win. So he needs everything he has to defend, to guard his base. He already has a few Vikings, so right now I know I won't be able to win this game, right here, I mean. But I can snipe a few units, I can put the pressure on, and meantime do some additional upgrades or make a third base like I'm doing now. So this is a pressure. I can still, you know, do pretty decent amount of damage if he screws up somehow. But he's not screwing up. He's just defending quite well, spreading his bio and you know, shooting with his Vikings. So it's like damage for damage. I get a few shots of Viking. I maybe snipe something with my Blink Stalkers. I'm just putting the heat on. The mind game worked. His push with the early medivacs was a little bit of delayed. He did no damage, and I exploited as he was moving back to move forward. Right now he could drop me because he knows he stabilized the situation, and I think he even should send at least one medivac around the map and drop me. But he's not doing it. I still have my observers. He at least checked my turret, and he put down his turret, but on the little bit of awkward spot, so I can shoot it with my colossi and force a cancel. And I didn't see if he cancelled or not. And he's moving down, and I didn't have my force field in time, so this is a little bit sloppy for me. I didn't expect him to move down like this, and this fight is not going so good for me. Although my Colossus is doing insane amount of splash damage, but I would be forced to back away. I'm shooting with my blink stalkers, but as the force fields disappear, I need to blink away, and this was a good move for him. I didn't have my force fields exactly in time. I needed to put them like half a second or 1 second earlier, but my charge is almost done. I have a colossi on my way. I have like 8 gates. That's a fairly amount. If it was any less, I would probably lose, because as you can see, I already have 1000 minerals. I can spend it, so I'm making 2 additional gateways, making another upgrade. And he's a little bit of all-inning. He's using his SCVs, and I'm feeling the heat right now. I have to be really careful how to engage this. I have to earn some time before my Colossus comes here, but I sent all my charge loads. Right now I kill the SCVs, but the bio is still standing strong, destroying the Zealots, and another warp in, and the Colossus will save my ass, literally. I snipe off the medivacs, blinking back, and I successfully defended this semi-all-in. This wasn't a very good move from him. He's still kiting the Zealots, but at this point it doesn't really matter, because Zealots are, you know, the very cheap unit, and very effective in small fights. When there's no like 10 goats or something, charge loads are perfect against bio. So I cancelled his turret again. I secured my superior position on the map, and I would say this is almost a win position, because I have 3 bases. I don't know if I'm up in supply, but I'm feeling I'm having a really big advantage. Right now, what you should do if you find yourself in similar situation, to check ninja expansions, or even check the no man's land or the semi-islands behind the rocks, because terrans sometimes expand there, and it's pretty smart, I would say. So maybe I should check that. But I just saw he's trying to put 2 command centers, so I know he's in the need of another expansion. He knows he's economically behind, and as you can see, the difference in supply is really big. So I remember when I played this game, I didn't feel you know, in superior position so much, but we can already see that this is like unwinnable for him. He doesn't have ghosts, he has only bio, and I have Colossus. Storm will be ready. I'm gonna back off to my 3rd expansion. I lost the Colossus on my way. That's not very nice, but you know, it's worth it if I'm getting my time to finish Storm research. So as my Storm will finish, I'm gonna throw it in the choke and probably win the game. My charge loads are not doing so good in this position, but there are the storms, brutal storms, and there's a G for my opponent. So this wasn't like a big game, but there are a few good moments to remember. At first, I used the map to my mind game. I made expansion after 2 guesses, so my opponent didn't know right away I was expanding. He needed to use the scan. Then second, I made a fake Twilight Council in the middle of my base, which is the most likely position to get scanned. And I tricked him. He was thinking I'm gonna make a blink timing to snipe his tech lab or something, or just blink harass. That's another mind game that worked for me, because his push with the medivacs was a little bit delayed, not very much, but a little bit, which is enough for me to get my Colossus. One Colossus easily defend most Marines. Then 3 observers in PvT, important to spot the drops. Then when you see Terran backing down, and you have the Colossus, he doesn't have the Vikings, you can put the pressure on, you can do some damage, or either to keep him in his base. And I expanded behind it. Obviously he didn't do any drop. That was a mistake from him. After he stabilized, he should made some drop. But I think I was ready for it. Obviously, it's bad to get dropped while you warped units somewhere else, because you have cooldown, and it's a pretty bad situation. But let's say I would hold it somehow. I had 3 observers, 8 gateways, then 2 more. I defended his semi all-in with charge lots and 1 Colossus that saved the day. And that it was, gateway units, charge lot, blink stalkers, Colossus. Upgrades were like 1-2 or something, then 2-2. And with the storm against no ghosts, easy win. So thanks for watching. You can subscribe, and hopefully see you in my next videos.